At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
All right, we're at the halfway point in the week. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo. What's going on? Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere, welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I am Ty Hudson, owner and creator of this bad boy right here. Soon, hopefully, to be an LLC this week. I'm dragging my feet on this, but I'm hoping to be an LLC. Yeah, you know me. LLC. You down with LLC? That's how it went. You down with LLC? Yeah, you know me. Hoping to do that. Limited liability company. So, going to spread our wings here at the PTN in a world where a fat guy behind a microphone in front of a camera talks about the Razorbacks. Hey, I'm about to eat. Have you guys had these? Skittles, they're to make your water taste better. You know, trying to drink more water. That one went down the wrong pipe. Excuse me. Hang on a second. All right. Big swig. Went down the wrong pipe. These are pretty good. I actually prefer the purple, but the strawberry isn't too bad. All right. A lot to talk about today. Again, Wednesday shows always freak me out because it's like, man, like all we really have is we have some practice notes. We have the depth chart we can talk about. But it turns out there's quite a bit more. Wednesday mornings always bail me out. We had some pretty big news coming out of LSU if you guys haven't heard just yet. So we'll get to that in just a second. Let me pinch this off here. Let me spruce up my water. Should have done this beforehand, but I had to take care of some bitness, and I'm a little bit behind. Normally, you guys see me, I'm drinking. I've already got a water bottle ready to go. There we go. You just kind of see that. You just dip it in there. Little Sam's purified drinking water. I normally don't drink it. I mean, for a while I drank quite a bit of the water with the flavor enhancement stuff. Listen, Tim, I give all the credit in the world to Tim. He's the one that got me into this stuff. When we were down at Little Rock for the Mizzou game in 2019, he said, "You got to try this stuff, bro." Okay, and I have, and that's all I do now is I drink. It's good. Sometimes then after you take a few swigs, you're like, I just would have preferred water. All right. Like, comment, share. We have a Discord thread that did really well in the amount of time. So we'll ask that question. This is, of course, for everybody who watches this after the fact, if you're not here live. The question, and I always debate when I want to do this. I do it early because I know there's people that watch the show later after the fact, and you know, it's good for them like to have something while they're listening to be able to respond to. So this is the question. It's real straight up, real simple. It's not as positive as Mondays. Mondays, I forgot, what was it? What does Arkansas do well, right? That was Mondays. By the way, no Facebook until Tuesday. Facebook didn't come back up till Tuesday yet. My numbers still did pretty good. I was pretty excited about that. A lot of you come here from Facebook. There's no doubt. I post all over Facebook, and that's part of the reason why for a couple of minutes I'm not able to turn the camera on because I'm busy trying to spread the word. Do me a favor. Share the content, please. That is huge. That means a lot. That means as much as a like, and of course, I want you to do that too. It means as much as a sub. Are you nervous? This is the question, the Discord thread question. If you guys want to get in on this stuff, you're not in our Discord, you need to be in our Discord. We're starting to get a little bit more interactive. Friday night, we did a Q&A in Discord. Like a lot, kind of like what we're doing here, right? With the camera and me and the microphone, and only I was on my laptop, but it's pretty fun. It was pretty fun. It was in a voice channel, and it did really well. And I might do more of those. And the only way you can be a part of those is if you get in on our Discord. Again, that link is provided for you down below in the description box. The question, the thread was, are you nervous when Arkansas special teams takes the field? It was going to be a two-parter. I was going to ask, do you think they solved the problem? That's too long, and I just want to know, are you nervous? Real simple. Yes, Ty, I am nervous anytime special units, or I'm only nervous about punt team. I'm only nervous about punt return. And what I wrote in this thread is between not having enough players on the field for a punt, penalties in 2 blocked punts. They've been penalized. I could be off. I think it's 3 times on punt when the punt team's on the field. Last year, it happened quite a bit. They've also had to burn timeouts because they don't have the right personnel or enough personnel on the field. So between those, returners making mistakes on kick returns, muffed punts deep in your own territory, that's happened a couple times. You had a kick return that was botched that puts you back behind your, what was it? AJ Green was at the 12-yard line, I think. Do you get nervous when special teams takes the field? This got a lot of replies. John Pigsui, oh God, every time they take the field. Every time they take the field. One more 24. I love this one. Death taxes and Arkansas special teams sucking. DB Land 84. Yes, mostly just on punts, though. Both kicking and receiving. We foobar at half the time, it seems like. 20 Hogs fan. Absolutely. The other team's this is a good one. The other team's greatest strength is our special teams. You've had how many punts blocked this year already? 2. Randall, I always forget to mute my phone. I'm sorry. Randall Cade says, "Is that a trick question?" No, it's a real question. Like I said, I get a little bit of pushback on this, and I welcome it. Big man Ross, I get nervous more than when Chad Morris was our coach. That's a bold statement. Now, I don't know if he means in general, like I'm more nervous about our special teams than when Chad Morris was our head coach, or if that's I'm as or more nervous than when Chad Morris' special teams take the field. Remember, it wasn't that long ago, North Texas, that infamous, just horrific punt return. But you got to give credit to the acting of the punt returner on that play. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of you, if you don't, go look it up. But that's a bold statement. Broham says, "Yes, I do. Too many pee-wee mistakes. It's like they need more practice." Brother, you ain't kidding. Lasuzo Eagle, only when we go to punt, I have gained confidence in kickoff, but AJ Green rattled that a bit. Talking about kick return, and I'm confident in field goal and extra point now. They are 100% on field goals or on extra points. They're he's only missed one, right? Little's missed one field goal in the year. He's 8 of 9. King Flame shot. At this point, I just want to be able to catch the ball. Austin BF, as nervous as last year. Probably decently nervous most of the time this year, though. Jay Bird 30, not even close. But yet still have that feeling that anything could go wrong. Like, well, okay, so then yes. Jay Bird, your answer is yes, my man. You kind of contradicted yourself there. Not even close. But yes, still have that feeling anything could go wrong? Oh, dude. Yes, the answer, your answer is yes. Turkey says, yes, the only reason we had a missed field goal was due to our team being rattled, and we likely won't have a crowd that loud again. So you're nervous, but you're happy with our field goal or our ability to kick field goals, right? Is that what you're saying there? I'm not really sure. Mike and Mary Hoggard, yes, have you seen our special teams? If you're talking to me, Mike, I don't know if you're paying much attention to my shows because I kind of gripe about our special teams about every week. I'm assuming that was at somebody else, I hope. No need for nerves when you knew you're going to lose. Well, I mean, they're 4-1. I mean, I don't know what you mean. Do you mean like special teams comes out on the field and you know they're going to suck? Is that what you were saying there? We have the same text ringtone. Oh yeah, it's TIE Fighter. You guys know I'm a big dork. I'm a big nerd. I used to have Chewbacca, R2D2. Will Watkins, you know what's sad? When the Hogs went to punt after their third possession, I looked at my wife and said, they're about to block this punt for a touchdown. And it happened. Yep. One of the reasons why I made that thread was because, number one, I do get pushback on that. People, well, I've had a couple people, including a friend of mine actually in a group chat, thinks I just overreact. I only concentrate on the bad. I don't focus on the good. Yet I've sat here and talked about how impressed I am with kickoffs. They're finally kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone, and it's consistent. That's great. That's awesome. Punt coverage is usually pretty good. They've given up one 15-yard return all year to Rice. And that was a week one. I kind of chalked that up to week one problems, right? They're gonna have a game where punt coverage isn't so great. It's due. Everybody does. It doesn't matter if you're the best special teams unit in the country. There's gonna be a game where your punt and kick coverage, which has been consistently good this year, falls apart or has a bad game. I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of these special teams coaches, of course, these days it's different because there's so few kick returns returned now, thanks to these new rules, the fair catch rules and what have you. By the way, when you fair catch it and you drop it, that's where you take over on offense. And we learned that. Hog fans, we've learned that. We've learned that now. I don't know if but I have concentrated on the positive. I've bragged on the freshman kicker who's been outstanding most of the year. But I am going to tell you, when special teams is on the field 15% of the game and they make as many mistakes and errors as they make, that's a problem. The fact that it's a good week on special teams when you have no mistakes it's not saying much for your special teams. So, I kind of wanted to ask that question. I know that there's people who get annoyed that I talk about it. I don't give a damn. Special teams has been a huge black eye. Now, again, I'm impressed with Little. I'm impressed with kickoff. Punt coverage for the most part has been really good. Kick coverage has been really good. And they're going to have a game where maybe they give up a bad, and that does happen. It's the other stuff around it. There's more to special teams than just kickoffs and punting, right? Or punt coverage. There's more to it. There's also punt return and kick return, which Arkansas does terrible at. They're not good. I think they're bottom 3 in the SEC in punt return yards. I think it's somewhere like bottom 5 in kick return yards. Now, kick return yards again are different, and it's hard to go by because of all the fair catch rules and all the changes that they've made, for just to make the game a little safer. What a shocker that two-star offensive lineman couldn't compete with elite players. Start these 4 freshmen. It's common sense. I don't know what you're talking about. We can't stop block punts, and we can't catch balls coming in from high up in the air. I mean, if we can't catch the damn ball, just let it hit the ground and hopefully bounce for POS yards. Frederick Clemens says it's Crawford at St. John's, time to shine. Oh, you're talking about we're going to get to that in a minute. The tackles moving, the movement's been encouraging. How about them Cardinals tonight, man? Tonight, I'm going to try and – we don't have any softball tonight. There's no softball tonight. I have to pick my kids up early from school today. I think I got to pick them up at 1:30. They let out early on Wednesdays, which is really cool. So I'm going to go pick them up, come home. I forgot to tell my wife, but I'm going to text her unless she's watching this right now. Like, I'm probably not going to be eating dinner with the family. I'm probably going to be watching the Cardinals. Right? What time is the pitch? I didn't even look. I'm excited, man. I'm so excited. Malik would be a great returner. Why not your best asset? Darren McFadden and Felix Jones did it. I mean, there have been years where you put your best player, you put him at punt or kick return, mostly kick return. DMAC returned kicks. I don't recall him returning punts. Felix did, though. Hillis did, didn't he? Didn't Hillis return punts for a little while? Like, a guy that was battling with injuries, why not let your most explosive players? And that was one of the reasons why Ladarius Bishop was returning kicks. I told you guys, he's one of the fastest players on the team. You have to have a mindset for punt and kick return. It's not easy, and one of the reasons why you have Perotti back there returning punts is because he's the only guy that they feel confident that can even field punts. We saw that with Gregory Brooks when he muffed that punt down inside the 10. Was that Texas? I get them all mixed up. Georgia showed our O-line maybe big, but they're super slow and heavy feet. Not going to beat Alabama or LSU unless we bench these slow offensive line. I agree. I don't have a problem with them making moves on the offensive line. I don't. I think what's concerning, and I said this under Chad Morris, and I'll say it now, not comparing Sam Pittman to Chad Morris, but it makes me nervous when you're at the halfway point and now you're starting to juggle your options on the offensive line. That concerns me just a little bit. Like, and I get it. Like, some of it you have to go through the week to week grind to have a better understanding of what you have to work with, because you can't simulate what Georgia does on defense. Hell, you couldn't simulate what A&M does on defense, despite the fact their offense is god awful. A&M looks like they've got 6-6. I said 8-4. Now I'm thinking like they're going to be lucky to make a bowl game. Georgia or Texas A&M got exposed, and they do not. Their offense is just lost. You know, Kellen Mond, they probably took him for granted, I think. There's a lot of chatter preseason about Bryce Stevens on special teams. There was a little bit in fall camp. I remember Stevens was kind of, I think he even worked with punt return for like a few days. And then it disappeared. There's options. What about Crawford? What about the OU transfer? Why not anybody else? And I know they're trying. Like, I think they rotated out several players in fall camp. I think spring camp they did the same thing. They just can't find the guys. I guess they just don't have them. Okay, that's fine. And that's why I'm not too upset about Perotti being the guy fielding punts, because, again, at least he could field them without muffing the damn ball. Knock on wood. Okay, now he's going to muff the damn ball against Ole Miss. But here, I'll knock on. That's wood. I'm knocking on that. I just it's concerning with all the other areas of the amount of questions you have on special teams. Blown assignments. When you're blocking for your punter, you've got a blown assignment. Georgia basically walks in and blocks the punt. You had the block punt against Rice. These are things that should have been corrected. You're year 2 under Fountain, and I don't know what the hell we're seeing here. And the guy has a great reputation coming from Georgia, coming over with Sam Pittman. Great recruiter. I hear he's a hell of a guy. Someone you could sit down and have a beer with. We've also heard that about politicians, so I don't give that saying a whole lot of credit. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a politician by any stretch of the imagination. He's a better human being than that. But I just don't understand why there haven't been positive changes on special teams. Why is it every week we're having this conversation? Every week. And it's like when we don't talk about them, that's a good thing because that means they didn't make any mistakes. It was midway through their freshman year that moved them into a starting role. That's not quite what Pittman is doing. Right. I don't know if you're directing that at me, Will. What I'm saying is the guards have been suspect this year. Luke Jones, there's been a battle at both guard spots. Clary, we thought was going to start. He's going to rotate. They don't have confidence in Clary, which isn't too shocking. I mean, we're not talking about a highly recruited player, but, I mean, we know that doesn't mean anything. Look at Morgan and Henry and so on and so forth on the defense. But it feels like these are things you should have realized a little sooner. And I don't understand. Crawford worked his way up to the 2 deep at right tackle. Dalton Wagner goes down. He doesn't move Crawford into to the 1 spot. He moves Clary over to play right tackle. And it seems like now there's going to be someone else there. Now they're moving Crawford inside. They're going to move Jalen St. John. So we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in just a second. I'm just wondering why this kind of thing wasn't explored sooner. As far as I know, there's been no expectation of Crawford since he came in from this staff, not from the media, but from the staff. I mean, he was the next guy up at right tackle, and now we're talking about moving him to guard. Now I understand why he's doing it. They want bigger bodies at guards. Today, your interior offensive linemen, especially at the guard spot, these guys got to be north of 330 pounds, especially in the SEC. Line of scrimmage football is absolutely everything in the SEC. And, I mean, it's everywhere. It's that way everywhere. But especially in the SEC, that's where the dominance is. I don't understand why you're going into week 6 and now you're flirting with that move. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think it's a good idea. I just wonder why they didn't do this a little sooner. Prody is a walk-on. He is a walk-on. He is. I don't think Stetson Bennett is that bad, to be honest. Georgia fans thinks they can't win at all with Stetson. I was pretty impressed with him, what little he had to play. You win the game, no changes. You win the game, no changes on O-line, that's why. What? You win the game, no changes on O-line. Are you saying that when you're not having to make changes? And he did do this at Arkansas. He moved Denver Kirkland, who was recruited to play tackle, moved him to inside. Sebastian Tritola, he moved to the inside. So it's not surprising. Again, I have no problem with the move. I just wonder why it wasn't talked about sooner, wasn't done in fall camp sooner, why it wasn't done maybe after Rice, especially after you got dominant. Like Rice did a pretty good job. Their front part of their defense did pretty well against Arkansas, and then the second half they absolutely broke it open. I mean, all things considered, right? Rice really forced Arkansas to rethink things in the second half, and you go back to that game and you look at the first half, part of the problem was the interior offensive line not getting push. You go back to that game, the guards were not getting pushed. Like Stromberg was the only bright spot in the second half. Why not? I'm saying why, if you saw this as an issue, we saw it as an issue against Rice, why this wasn't flirted around with a little sooner. But I love it. I love the idea of moving them inside. I think Crawford would be a natural guard. I can remember, I don't remember if it was Clay Henry on the radio or who said it, but they talked about how he seems more like a guard and so on and so forth, but then Pittman didn't go beyond that. Pittman kept him at right tackle. In fact, when he came in at right tackle, Pittman talked about putting him at the 3 spot at right tackle. So he's going to have to work his way up, and he did. He worked his way up to the 2 spot. Never didn't hear anything. And again, Dalton Wagner goes down. Ty Clary gets moved to the right tackle spot. Limmer and Latham just aren't aggressive enough. They don't get the push. They look pretty good against a Texas front that is not good. Texas' defensive front hasn't looked very good. I think Texas has got some issues there, and Arkansas helped exploit that. They're not terrible, They're not awful. They're just not. I think in this league you do need to be about north of 330 pounds to be effective at both guard positions and at center. They thought they could work out the kinks and get them to play together, says Big Donnelly. Maybe they were just like it's ugly, but we're still winning, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Georgia exposed that. In fact, broken and needs repairs. It could be, but again, we've known this. In fact, a lot of people, the biggest gripe about the offensive line was at the two guard positions. They weren't really ever solidified. You had battles with Luke Jones and two or three other guys at each position. No one clearly was the winner, and then we're griping week to week like, what's going on? The interior offensive line isn't where it should be. I'm happy. I love the idea of moving those two guys inside and working them out at the guard spots. I honestly think Crawford could make it to the next level at almost any position. I wonder if you stuck him at left tackle behind Myron Cunningham and taught him the ropes and gave him time to develop there, what he could look like as a left tackle. He's pretty versatile as an offensive lineman, but it does feel like his natural position is either right tackle or right somewhere inside, right guard, left guard, something like that. And clearly that's what the staff wants to do. And I mean, look, you can't knock them for trying something out. They've done it with tight ends. We saw them make all kinds of moves with tight ends. So I'm excited about it. It's the biggest news of the week, without a doubt, along with some of the depth chart news that we have too. We're going to go over here in just a second. I'm very excited for Crawford, though. He's a big guy. He's a big dude. And, I remember him coming out of high school. Of course, he committed to Arkansas. Then he ended up having to go to Charlotte for a year. But the thing that stood out about him was how versatile he was as a tackle, someone who could play. He's got the size, looked pretty damn physical to me, could flat out pancake folks, seemed somewhat aggressive. Sometimes that doesn't always translate to the next level. Some of those traits don't always work their way in to Power 5 football, because then you got to work on footwork and technique and proper use of your hands and so on and so forth. And on top of that, you got to learn the playbook and all this stuff. And so some things kind of get lost. Some things don't translate from high school to the college game, especially on the offensive and defensive line, on line of scrimmage, especially in the SEC. If he keeps all the things that made him stand out in high school and it all translates onto the field, he's going to be a star offensive lineman at Arkansas. I mean, he strikes me as someone who could play at the next level. I think he and Ricky Stromberg are your two guys you talk about as potential NFL talent. Stromberg, I don't think there's any doubt. I think Stromberg's one of the top three centers in the SEC. I don't know where Pro Football Focus has him rated, but I think he's definitely going to be drafted. He's going to be drafted. Need more of that rectangular pizza. Too many soy burgers in high school make our linemen weak. I don't know. But the offensive line hasn't been terrible. I mean, they really haven't. When KJ has time to throw, we know I think he struggled a little bit dissecting defenses, especially Georgia's, and they only threw, I don't even think, how many times they target deep balls on Georgia? Like twice or even once. And that was because of the coverage. That was because of the pressure. And they were able to get pressure. Georgia was the first time, like someone said in chat, Georgia was the first time where you kind of panicked about what was going on. And KJ definitely didn't have time to go through all of his reads. And it messed everything up. You're not, like I said, Saturday and Monday, you're not playing another defense like that. Bama's still Bama. Make no mistake about it. But they're not the Bama of 10 years ago. That was Georgia, and you just played them. All right. But again, offensive line hasn't been atrocious. It really hasn't. I mean, you're one of the top rushing offenses in the league. I mean, that's got to mean something. You could call the A&M win whatever you want. Call the Texas win whatever you want. Georgia is just Georgia, right? They're just Georgia. They clearly, to me, look like the best team in the country. Okay, LSU. Breaking news. Just broke about an hour ago. All-American cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. had a medical procedure done on his left foot. The school announced on Wednesday there is no timetable on his return, according to Ed Orgeron. Arkansas plays them the middle of next month. What, the 11th? I don't have that calendar up in front of me. When's the date? They play them in the middle of next month. So he's going to have plenty of time. Indefinite could mean, I don't know. That could be 5 weeks, could be 6 weeks, could mean he's not going to return. But he says he's going to do everything he can to come back this year. He does not want to prep for the pros just yet. I don't have his quote up, but it sounded to me like he wants to be back on the field. He wants to go out and compete, and I love that. I hope that he does it. I really do. Like I hate beating teams when they're banged up and full of injuries, and it kind of lessens the win a little bit. I like to compete against the best of the best. I really do. And I like competing. I like just being able to compete. It sucks when you win 2 conference games or win no conference games for a couple of years and you're completely irrelevant for a short period of time. But I do like competing at a high level, and I like to compete against teams when they're healthy. So I hope he's healthy for Arkansas. But if he's not out on the field against Arkansas, obviously that'd be a huge plus for Arkansas's passing offense, for KJ to be able to read. Stingley's good, man. I mean, there's no doubt. There's a reason why coming into the season he was regarded as the top defensive back or one of the top corners in the country. He was an All-American. Drinkowitz, some news out of Missouri. I know some of you have already heard this. He's fired his defensive line coach following the 62-24 loss at the hands of the Tennessee Volunteers. Missouri realized it needed to make some changes on defense. The Tigers' defense gave up 683 total yards of offense. 458 of those were on the ground. Yeah, Mizzou cut defensive line coach Jethro Franklin, replaced by former Razorback. Do you guys remember Al Davis? He was hired on as a defensive analyst. He's taken over defensive line duties for the Tigers. He helped lead them through drills on Tuesday. Davis spent the 2020 season coaching Illinois' defensive tackles. The Georgia native was a starting defensive lineman and team captain at Arkansas, where he lettered from 2009 to 2012. Then coached under Brett Bielema as a graduate assistant from 2014 to 2016. Mizzou is 2-3. They're ranked dead last in total rush defense, 130th out of 130 FBS teams, allowing over 300 yards per game on the ground. Good luck, Al Davis. Good luck, sir. Good luck. You've got your hands full. Got your work cut out for you there, buddy. I want water. See, now I get a few swigs in, and I'm like, okay, I want water back. ESPN college game day notes. Disappointment for Arkansas. You hate to look, shitty. You hate to look shitty like that, but you did. College game day notes here. ESPN's college game day scored its biggest audience of the season last Saturday. On average, nearly 2.1 million people tuned into the pregame show, which was on location in Athens, Georgia, and then preceded the network's telecast of the Razorback game against the Bulldogs, which kicked off at 11 a.m. Think about that. 11 a.m. kickoff for game day, and they had their highest rated show in terms of their biggest audience. That sucks. We know that Arkansas was the Cinderella story that week. It was a big week. It's good that Arkansas can pull that. I'm going to be honest. When I read that, I was a little shocked. I was a little bit surprised by that. But, Ed O is about to lose the locker room. Look for them to to let go of the rope this weekend. Remember what happened here. Oof. All right, guys, do me a favor. Remember, like. Share the content if you would. Subscribe if you haven't already. Game day, more like Georgia highlight reel. That's exactly what it was. Georgia was definitely on display. We had some depth chart news this week we had a first this week on the depth chart. So let's go over the depth chart really quick. What are we at here? We're not even at 40 minutes. Confirmed, stage too big, lights too bright, sentiment. Right, yeah. Florida fans asking if Mullen needs to be fired. Look around. Slim Pickens at coach. Is Bumper Pool back up now? No, they do that every week. Bumper Pool's always listed as the 2 guy. But, no, he rotates out quite a bit. Auburn fans think they have a chance. I mean, who do they have this week? I haven't even looked at the lineup yet. I haven't looked at the lineup of games. I mean, Someone's going to say some of the games. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. But it's not off the top of my head right now. Focused on this show. So, Razorbacks week 6 depth chart. KJ's the 1. Traylon Smith's the 1. Kern is at 1. Blake Kern at 1. Hudson Henry at 2. For the first time, they actually listed a number 3 tight end, and it was Trey Knox. Trey Knox listed as the 3 guy at tight end. We knew he moved there. We've seen him on the field. But to have him officially on the depth chart, yeah, pretty cool. Treylon Burks, Tyson Morris, Devion Warren, your starting 3 receivers. Myron Cunningham. They still have Jalen St. John as a backup behind him. Brady Latham at the 1 spot. Luke Jones at the 2. Ricky Stromberg at 1 at center. Shane Clinton behind him. Right guard, Bo Limmer, Ty Clary. Right tackle, Dalton Wagner, Tykees Crawford. Now, that was the depth chart. So, from what I've read, what I've been told, they did move Crawford and Jalen St. John. They worked with the 2s, but they're still listed as the backups at both their tackle spots. But they worked with the 2s this week at guard. But, yeah. On defense, you have Zach Williams, John Ridgway, Markel Utze, and Trey Williams. What'd I say? So Zach Williams, John Ridgway, Markel Utze, Trey Williams. Yeah. Nichols backing up Ridgway, Mateo Soli Mateo Soli. Nichols is going to back up Ridgway, no surprise there. Eric Gregory behind Utze, Jashad Stewart behind Trey Williams. Your linebackers, yes, Hayden Henry, every week he's listed as the 1. I think he has every week. Poole behind him, but they'll rotate as they often do. Grant Morgan and Andrew Parker at the mic. Your nickel position, Gregory Brooks, Trent Gordon. Someone asked me a little while back what happened to him. Yeah, he's been the backup behind Brooks all year and has seen the field a little bit. Monteric Brown at the 1 spot, Devin Bush behind him. Your other starting corners, Ladarius Bishop with Hudson Clark behind him. Clark has seen the field this year. I put him as the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys noticed. I put him as the thumbnail because it's Ole Miss week. We know what he did last year. I couldn't resist. And I don't think he's a terrible corner. I think he's probably a little bit of a liability at times, but you got to give credit where credit's due, man. I mean, he stood out a couple times last year. Maybe he can sprinkle some of that magic in against Ole Miss if he gets much playing time. Fouché at one of the safety spots, backed up by Simeon Blair, Jaden Johnson, Miles Slusher. Slusher's kind of dropped back, which is interesting because Slusher was clearly the 2 guy at safety, and some argued he should have even been a starter. He's kind of getting pushed back a little bit. I know he's dealing with some minor injuries. And then you have Jalen Catalon, Malik Chavis at the other safety spot. Technically, they kind of run 3 if you count Brooks as the nickel, but it's basically a 3rd safety. Catalon, small rumor going around. I've seen it a couple places on message boards. There's a belief he could be hurt, playing with some kind of hand injury. I haven't been able to confirm that. I'll be honest, I don't listen to every single thing coaches say. I don't listen to all the content that they put out. So I don't know if Chavis or if Chavis. I don't know if Catalon's been asked about his hand or not, or if some kind of arm, shoulder injury. I don't know. But it's rumored. There is a rumor going around that he has something going on. Look, 9 tackles through 8 quarters. Does that sound anything like the Catalon that we knew the beginning of the year or going back to last year when he was a redshirt freshman? Hell no. Something, I mean, that would be the only explanation is the guy's playing with an injury. Now, as far as I know, I think he was seen with tape on his hand, but I've not seen him in a glove. I've not seen him with a brace. And I don't even know if he's been in the green jersey through camp or through the last couple of weeks. I think he was a little bit off and on earlier in the year. But this sounds like it could be something different, or it could be a reoccurring injury. I don't know. Not really sure what's going on with Catalon. If there's something, if it's not an injury bug, if it's not something that's, I don't know, that maybe teams are just doing a good job of avoiding him on the field. I don't know. I don't know how you avoid him. The guy covers 53 yards, which is the width of a football field. He covers it like nobody else. I don't know what his 40 time is, but it would not shock me if that dude runs something like a 4.40. That dude is fast, man. His awareness is through the roof. You should try sitting down If you have NCAA 14, I have Revamped. I love Revamped, by the way. If you don't, I'm telling you guys, you need to figure out how to do it or get someone, one of your tech smart nerd friends like I had to do, and have them help you set it up. It is totally worth it. But you're sitting there trying to make his overall rating, and I can't. Every time I do it, I make him like 98, 99. You can't help but do. Of course, I'm a realistic person, and I drop him. I have to find things. Well, okay, maybe his man coverage isn't so great. I don't know. He did, and he missed that tackle against Spiller against A&M. Maybe you drop his tackle a point. But that also makes you wonder. You go back to that A&M game. Did he get hurt? And that's the belief, is he got hurt in the early part of that A&M game. He suffered another injury. We have seen some other safeties play when he was on the sidelines, but again, we had no, as far as I know, there's not been anything about a major injury that's preventing him from playing. So I don't know, but his production has been reduced. Again, 9 tackles through 8 quarters. That does not sound like someone. But he said there were no green jerseys last week. I think it was earlier in the year when they had Burks. Who was it? Burks, maybe Bumper Pool, Catalan, and there was maybe a couple other guys I can't think of that were in the green jerseys. Bro, how do you get Revamped on NCAA 14? Google it. That's all I can tell you to do. I had to have a friend help me, but it is awesome. Honestly, like, you get the updated jerseys. These guys did such a good job that EA poached some of the guys. They poached the guy that does all the graphic updates, like the cutaway stuff, and there's a cool little movie introduction with some really cool music. Like, it's so worth it, and it's free. All you gotta do is have a copy of NCAA 14. Which are kind of hard to get your hands on. But it is awesome. And you get to see of course, the NCAA 14, you had those ugly red and white with the gray kind of mixed in on the jerseys and the ugly helmets. Now you get the red tops, solid red tops, the DMAC era jerseys and all that. It's awesome. It's wonderful. Bring back John L. Smith as special teams coordinator. Where is he? Is he coaching high school football or something? I went to Liberty Bowl when they won with them shining like a diamond. Totally going to nerd out later tonight and do this. Dude, it's so worth it. I hate NCAA 14. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst NCAAs, and Revamped made it so much better. Cosmetics, I get it. There's still some things like the recruiting aspect of the game is garbage. It's garbage. The way it used to be where you could put points into your strengths. You can recruit a player based on your strengths. And Arkansas always had really high facilities, really high location, all that history. That all play. Now it's like you just dump points into a player, and it's terrible. I hate the recruiting. Yeah, there's a few YouTube videos explaining. It's, again, I've thought about streaming them, but I have the little thing that you used, what's it called, Elgato or Elvato? I don't know what it's called. I ordered it off Amazon. I got it working for a short while on my PS3, and then it stopped working, so I don't know. Also, moving on, going to some of the other work notes this week, there have been a couple of guys in green jerseys. I don't know what this is about. I don't know if there's truth to this, but Marco Avant was seen in a green jersey. That's news to me. Someone screenshotted something to me, sent it, and said, I think Avant was in a green jersey this week. I thought he was out for the year. I don't know if there's truth in that. Look, and this is someone who's given me some pretty solid info this year. So I don't know what to make of that. I thought he was out. Marco Avant was that big time. Well, I say big time 3-star linebacker out of Jonesboro, out of Northeast Arkansas. Someone I thought could crack into the 3 deep, considering how thin they were, and someone who could maybe rotate, because that's what they want to do. They want to rotate and keep linebackers fresh. So there's no doubt that I thought Avant had the talent level to come in and maybe get an opportunity to make the 3 deep and see the field at some point as a freshman. Not saying he's going to come in and make an impact, but come in and help and aid in the overall just the quality depth there, right? So apparently he was seen. Again, I don't know if there's any truth in that or not, but just keep an eye out for that. If you see anything, feel free to join our Discord and share it with us. Dalton Wagner returned to practice after missing yesterday's practice due to personal reasons. Ty Clary filled in for him some this week. Trey Knox, we already talked about that. He's made the 3 deep at tight end, but he was seen working with the 2s. Of course, we know about there could be some possibilities of the defensive line rotating out some different players this week, so wouldn't be surprised to see Nichols get a little bit more playing time, possibly Torrin Carter. Torrin Carter's starting to see the field more and more, and we already talked about the guard. Both the tackles getting moved. They were seen working with the 2s at the guard spot, and that's Jalen St. John and Tykees Crawford. I wanted to talk really briefly about, and where are we at here? We're at 46 minutes. Correct on event. Okay, Biddy said it on the buzz yesterday. Okay. So event could be seeing some time this year. I've liked Avant since I think he was a little bit under evaluated or not evaluated enough, underrated. I really like him. I like him as someone who, I'm not calling him the next Bumper Pool or Grant Morgan or Dre Greenlaw or anything like that, but could be someone who contributes early, and you're going to need to develop that back into the linebacker depth chart, and Marco Avant needs to be a part of that, along with Parker at the Mike spot. Need to get prepared for next year, and Avant is somebody who I felt like could, again, make the rotation at linebacker somewhere, and he's versatile. He's pretty quick. Decent size, plays with, pretty aggressive. Again, in high school, that doesn't always translate. Good example of that is Zymos. Zymos, one of the reasons why he got moved back to safety and it's kind of disappeared is because there's a belief he doesn't really play as aggressive as they would like. And they kind of said the same thing about Levi Draper. Draper didn't play as aggressive as they would like, and he wasn't reacting. He was read and then thinking about it and then reacting. Got to take the think part out. You got to be able to read and react. So, let's see. It's over 9,000. I love that name. Oh, you got to be a true nerd to understand that name. Depth, yeah, but there will be an impact recruits for linebacker. I don't know what you mean. Oh, God, Clary, what the hell happened to him? Offensive line coach should be in the doghouse with special teams coach. Offensive line I don't think has been that bad, John. Do you think they've been that bad? He should be in the doghouse? I think they've done a pretty good job, all things considered. I do think they're playing – I don't think they're playing with the weight that they wanted to at both the guard spots. I think they wanted to add some weight, and they're doing that now. You can't be serious. A first-year offensive line coach in the doghouse because of one game? Get out of here. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it should be in the doghouse. Georgia is – like I said in the post game, Georgia's headed to the moon. They're like Elon Musk right now. And the rest of us are like the NASA space program. The rest of college football is like the NASA space program. Like they're not launching out of into orbit right now. They're just not. It doesn't seem like it. Seems like it's Georgia and Alabama, like Alabama's Bezos and Georgia's Elon Musk with SpaceX. I don't know. And that's not a diss on Arkansas. I mean, they have played way above where I think a lot of people thought they would be. Look, I had them at 8-4. I know there's going to be people like, Ty, what do you mean? They're way better. I had them at 8-4. By the way, I'm 5-0 on all my picks. I'm not doing so hot against the spread, but I'm 5-0 on all my picks. Picked Arkansas to start the year out 4-0, doing the week to week, and then I picked them to lose to Georgia. Friday's going to be interesting. We need Ray Lewis. I don't think so. I mean, next year, if you don't get Bumper Pool back, Bumper Pool does have another year of eligibility if he so chooses to use it. So does John Ridgway. I had to correct myself. I was wrong on that. Someone asked me a couple of weeks ago if Ridgway had any eligibility left. I thought that he didn't, and he does. So you could get Ridgway back too. Give the like button the manhandle slam. Yeah. Like. We have to make an adjustment quicker this game. I'm liking that linebacker. Oh, Crook. Yeah, Crook. And you got the kid that transferred to Fayetteville out of Ohio who's committed, whose, of course, name is slipping my mind. He's hurt. He got hurt at Fayetteville, but you've not had one, so here you go. Oh, thank you, Will. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your pity super chat. Zazian on absurdity. Oh, no, I already read that. D. Elliott, you sure you aren't mixing up Paul with Avant? Avant is like 210, soaking wet. He's nowhere near ready to play. Elliott, I was talking about at the beginning of the year. You could always add weight to players. He got hurt, and of course he didn't add weight. He's been rehabbing and going through, I think he had surgery. Yeah, both of those guys. I didn't say you shouldn't be looking at him. I just really thought highly of Marco Avant. It wasn't pity. No, Marco Avant. Anyone who's been here long enough knows I've been bragging on that kid since they got him to sign, since he committed to the Hogs. And the other guys too. Who knows? Manny Powell is the Fayetteville kid, by the way, whose name was slipping my mind. Manny Powell got hurt, and I think he might be out the rest of the year at Fayetteville, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to go watch him play. But no, at the beginning of the year, again, you can add weight to these guys. They've proven that. The staff can add weight to people. That doesn't seem to be a challenge for this staff, if you've been paying attention. When we said 8-4 preseason, everyone thought we were homers. Now we're haters if we aren't 10-2, or if we are 10-2. Saturday's going to make or break. Will they overcome? I think Pittman will have them ready. What is up with Kernan? His bad performance all year so far. He's dropped. How many balls did that guy drop this year, man? Blake Kernan, what is he, 4 or 5 drops? It's terrible. Jared Stidman says, I like Avant too. And really that whole linebacker class, not bad. Not bad. But, yeah, Avant to me kind of stood out. 9 at least. Yeah. So you've had some movement. Again, offensive line. We got Trey Knox working with the threes with the tight ends, which is really nice to see. Also, I wanted to go over this really quick. The amount of freshmen that have played this year. I wanted to go over that really quick. Quite a few of them have actually played. Now, I don't know how many of them have officially burned their red shirts yet. I don't have that information. But I feel like definitely A.J. Green, Raheem Sanders, and Keytron Jackson, that is, have definitely burned their red shirt. Cam Little, obviously. But you've seen those guys play. Jaden Johnson, Christopher Paul, who has played. He doesn't have any stats. I don't believe he has any stats recorded yet. Lucas Coley, Jaden Wilson, offensive lineman. You guys remember Terry Wells, Bryce Stevens, and Cameron Ball. These guys have all played to some extent. I don't think Cameron Ball's played enough to burn his red shirt. Obviously, Lucas Coley hasn't. I don't know about Terry Wells. I don't think he has. I think it's 4 games. It used to be 3. You could participate in 3 games, no more, and you wouldn't burn your red shirt. Now it's up to 4. So, yeah, I don't. Maybe none of these guys outside of the running backs and Cameron Little. Christopher Paul has played mostly special teams. That guys that haven't played, Jermaine Hamilton Jordan, Kejuan Parker, Jalen Williams, Aaron Outley. We know he had a big injury. Landon Rogers, who was moved from quarterback to tight end, former teammate there. Devin Manuel and Cole Carson. These are all guys that have not played, along with Solomon Wright and, of course, Marco Avant. Solomon Wright's dealing with an injury too, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I think he's dealing with an injury. But it is good. Again, like I said, it's good to see that he's green shirted, so maybe we'll get to see him. And that tells you something. That tells you this staff wants him on the field and he wants to play. Oh, we got another super chat. Willow, Maine, LA Flair. No message. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the super chat. UAPB, play no starters. 3 weeks to get healthy. Yeah, they got bye week on the 30th, right? You've got Ole Miss this weekend, Auburn on the 16th. You got Pine Bluff and Little Rock on the 23rd, and then 30th you finally get your bye. Finally. Why are you wearing Ole Miss color? This is like one of my favorite shirts. I told you I love powder blue. If you guys are in our Discord, I love powder blue. Don't be hating. Don't be hating. I love powder blue, man. It's like one of my favorite colors. I told my wife I'd like a 57 Chevy Bel Air powder blue. It's like, or candy pink. Those are like my favorite colors. I don't care. Ty is wearing Ole Miss colors. What the hell? I knew it. Dude, I have worn this shirt in several lives. I like powder blue. I love powder blue. I love Matt Jones. He's the one that screwed up in the NFL. Yeah, Matt Jones, I would love talking about Matt Jones. 6'6", 242 pounds at the NFL Combine. I forgot what his vertical leap was, but this dude drops at, again, 242 pounds, a 4.37 40 at the NFL Combine. Plays receiver, gets drafted in the first round. Burn the shirt. Hell no, I ain't burning the shirt. I love powdered blue. I don't care. Honestly, I didn't even realize I had it on, if I'm being truthful. I completely forgot I even had it on. I was going to wear I had a Top Gun shirt that I thought I was going to wear, and I guess it's in the laundry somewhere, and I kept this on. Didn't even realize. Powder blue looks a little land sharky to me. Ball came in for Ridgeway late in the Georgia Southern game. He is huge. I think he's the same size as Ridge, maybe an inch shorter. 39.5-inch vertical. That is insane. For 6'6", 242 pounds. That's ridiculous. Marco says at Pro Day. He did that at the NFL Combine too, though, right? I know he dropped that 4.38. I remember you could find that clip somewhere on YouTube, him dropping that 40. Like, ridiculous. I watched the 04 Houston Nuts show post OM yesterday. It's on Hog Plus. Dow Loggins was highlighted. I still need to sign up for that. Any other week but Ole Miss week. Come on, man. Dude, it was a mistake, all right? Do we shame what the radio guys wear? What, because you can't see them? Here. We'll just do this, all right? Jeez. Shout out to the Patreon supporters, by the way. That was updated. I don't know if you guys noticed. That was updated. Roy Larimer, Chris Royce, Joe Venable. We added, I think Mark Dodson came back. That was cool. Look at you guys hating on my shirt. I wish Houston Nut could come back to the team as our spirit animal. Finally got September up. Well, no, you can't. So I can't update September until Patreon sends me the list. Like, I don't know who's on my list until they send me basically like not an invoice, but like a receipt of who's signed up. So I can't update my list until they send it. And it's usually like 5 days into the next month. I've talked about that here before, Kelly. I can't do anything about it until they send me my list. And then I got to update everything. I got to update the names in the description box. You got to update the thumbnail or the opening screen. That I got to update that. So and I can't do it until they send me the email. Oh, here's your Patreon, because then you have people who sign up, and this has happened. You have people that sign up like on the last day, but then they withdraw or they don't go through it, right? They don't stick with it. They back out the last second. I mean, I don't blame anybody for it. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, I can't do it this month, and you back out the last second. So that's why I can't update the names until Patreon says, okay, here's who's paid through. Mr. Ole Miss himself, you guys. Let's just hope Friday's cast ties wearing red. I don't have any red shirts. True. I don't have any red shirts, man. All my Razorback shirts are holy. I'm real. Ask my wife. She's in Discord now, by the way. You can ask her why I don't buy many shirts. In fact, she bought this for me, so don't wear that shirt in front of Coach O. You guys remember when Bobby Petrino was head coach and some Florida alumni reporter had the Florida Gator hat on? He told her to get that hat off. They made a big deal about it. That was awkward. Any other week? Oh, yeah, I already read that. I'm with you on the powder blue, but best jerseys ever in Chargers in their powder blue. So fresh and so clean. There's a little Outcast drop. I like it. All right, we're at an hour. Outside of being crucified for wearing powder blue, I appreciate you guys coming through today. Friday will be our Ole Miss breakdown. I'm gonna get your scores on Friday. I'm really impressed. Nobody gave me their scores today. I'm really impressed with that. You guys waited. Good job. Friday, you're gonna give them to me. You're gonna give me your score. I don't know. We're probably gonna do a two-parter. We're probably gonna do your score, and then we'll still do a Discord question We're also kind of playing around again with this with the voice chat channel on Discord, which is really cool. We did that last week, like I said at the beginning of the show, and it went over really well. Whoops. I accidentally joined it. Disconnect. But it went over really well. I'm thinking about doing a call-in that way. I'm not doing handing out a phone number, I'm not doing that. I'd rather people just join the Discord and do it that way if I can make it work. Actually, we could do a little test right now if you guys want to do a test. Who wants to call in? Anybody want to do a call-in real quick? I'll give you like 30 seconds to say whatever you want. We could test it. I've been talking about I need to test it. Who wants to do this? Because I don't know if this will work or not. I don't know how it'll work with OBS. If you're in our Discord here, let me hand out the invite. Since it's the end of the show. Generate new link. Hey, there. If you want to join, anybody want to do a 789-540? I don't know what whose phone number is that? It's you're missing a digit. Let's go for 2 hours Friday. I can't do 2 hours, man. Hey, Ty, as a nod to Urban Meyer, prostate checks are now called. That's funny. Do it. Someone, hey, if you want to, speak up on Discord. We've got someone typing in Discord, but I don't know if they want to do it. If you want to call in, just whatever, give you 30 seconds. Invite for call in that would take your show to the next level. Okay, right, which is what I've had people tell me I need to do it for a while. I've been thinking about doing it. One of my reservations to doing it is handing out a phone number, getting a burner phone. I don't want to do that. I damn sure ain't not giving a personal number out. If you want to do it, no one's signing up to do it, so maybe I shouldn't do a call in. I don't know. Oh, I was making a score joke. 870. Okay. No one wants to do it. Use a phone call app. I've looked around and yeah, I'm not doing a phone call app. I'm not doing it. They're sketchy because you sign up for them and then all of a sudden you start getting scam calls and stuff. I'll do it. I ain't scared. All right. So we have a volunteer. Broham's going to do it. We can go. All right. Go into, if you look on the left side of here, let me share my screen. Let me do that really quick so you guys know what we're talking about here. Hang on. Oh my goodness. All these different. All right. Let me share my screen. I'll show you for those of you who are like, what? This is Discord. All right. This is Discord. Okay. Over here on the left side. Now, if you're on your phone, you have to click. But if you look under, there's the trail. That's our main chat. If you click underneath it, pull up my. If you look underneath it, that's the actual thread, and you click there. And if you want to click the thread here, right there's the thread. So if you want to do that really quick, wow, that gained more messages, 17 messages. I haven't even read them all. All right. All right, so off to the left here. Someone's already in there. All right, let's see how this works. Let me turn up my desktop audio. Bear with me. This is a trial here, so don't. Okay. We start. Broham is currently waiting. Start the on stage. I don't know. We'll just call it test. How about that? Test. Live test is what we should call it. Live test. Start stage. Okay. Broham's already there. Okay. Will it let me? All right. All right, Brohams. So what you do is when you come here, you wait, I guess you turn in like a request. You click down here. Hang on. I'd like to talk to you about your extended car warranty. All right. Show request. Invite to speak. Here we go. Broham, it's up. Now, you guys in chat are going to have to tell me if you can, if there's an echo or how he sounds. You got to accept it, bro. By the way, get the likes up. Please, get those likes up. Helps out the algorithm. All right, Broham's in here. Let's unmute him. How do you unmute? That's weird. Oh, so he must be muted. So you're muted on your end, Broham. Got to unmute yourself. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. Broham, how you doing?
30 seconds real quick. First,
okay.
Atomic leg drop the like button. Because if you don't, then you're a member of the Communist Party.
Oh.
Number two, the question of the game against Ole Miss is going to be what our offense is going to do against their defense. Can we score enough to outscore Ole Miss?
There you go. There you go. I hope so. We're going to talk about that Friday, but I appreciate you. So how did that sound, chat? Was it echoey? I'm trying to pull up my chat on my phone here, and it's not working. This is going to turn into Drive Time Sports. Their defense is still trash, says Kelly Marie. Sideline app, $10 a month. You choose your local phone. Yeah, but Will, don't you still get bullshit like bot calls and stuff? Because I've heard you get bot calls and it gets really bad. Good, a little loud on his end. Okay, I'm glad you said that because I can just turn down desktop audio there and we can adjust that. But he's already out, so it doesn't matter. No echoes. Okay, see, this is why we do what we do here. We're doing a live test, right? There you go. So if you want to be a part of this, again, I'll share the screen again. This is how you do it. You join our PTN Discord, right? It says he may have himself muted. I'm not. Am I muted? But anyways, this is how you do it. And then you come over here. You scroll down. If you're on PC, you scroll down to Ty Talks. You join, and then it allows you to be in the audience. You click the little hand thing there, and then I take your call. Drive Time Sports, brought to you by, right? So, all right. We passed the test, I guess. There we go. Remember to like the show. Of course, shout out to sponsors. Direct Service Overhead. They operate out of Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas. They will repair and or replace your garage door. Their information is provided for you down below in the description box. Also, of course, Stated Apparel, our other sponsor, located in downtown Benton area. You could check out all their stuff, all they have, all their merchandise over at Stated Apparel. On the link, there's a link provided for them. If you use the Ty Rocks all caps, you get 10% off. They sell native and Southern Marsh clothing brands as well. Both those links are provided for you down below, either in our Discord and or in the description box. I may need to update their link in the description box. So, all right. I appreciate you guys. Ty, I emailed you something. Uh-oh. Did you guys see the email I got? Did I show that to Discord? I had a Georgia fan. I've never had an opposing fan email me such a complimentary email. He liked my show and he bragged on the Razorbacks. Never had that. I've had A&M fans, all sorts of some fat jokes, emails. I've never had a complimentary opposing. Of course, they did just whip the hell out of Arkansas. So, Ramjet that like button like Randy the Ram. There's a legend. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. It's good to hear that there are no echoes on that because that was something I was a little concerned about with the desktop audio and what have you. So, all right, well, I'll look for that email. Quality was legit, though, says Go Hogs for life. All right, Friday. We're going to do our show, Ole Miss Breakdown. I can't wait. I'm already psyched for the Friday show and, of course, the post-game show. Win or lose, it'll be fun. Well, it'll be more fun if you win, obviously. But, yeah. And I'll give you my score, my prediction, and what has to happen for Arkansas to beat Ole Miss. It's going to be as you can tell, you can ask me all you want about Ole Miss right now. I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to wait till Friday. I saved the juicy tidbits for Friday. Georgia generally loved Pittman. We do, too. We do. All right. Till Friday, woo, pig suey. Thank you guys so much. Sponsors, Patreon supporters, all you who come through live chat. You guys are rock stars, but you already knew that. Go Hogs. I'll see you Friday.